Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing better than me. This is the fourth time I'm recording this video. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hit you guys. Jeez. First time I didn't like it. Second time the file got corrupted. Third time the microphone wasn't on the right source. So at least now I have great practice. Silver lining. So cheers to everybody. Right, Jameson? Jameson had a good, fun time outside, and so did Jesse, who is... I think Jesse's behind me. Jesse's over there under his mommy's desk. My wife is away this week for business, so it's just me and the dogs. So why not make some content? It's fun. And the content I want to make is not all cards need to be great. They just can't be terrible. And this is mostly for just like people on like an earlier collection level, where it's just like, you know, early collection level cards. We're going to talk about Captain America. They don't need to be amazing, phenomenal, things like that. They just need to be good. And if they're not terrible, then you don't need to really change them, because there's going to be more cards that are going to be added on throughout the game. And as long as you just make the earlier cards good, that's it. So let's start off by talking about Uatu. Uatu is a great change. Uatu used to be, you could see all the locations, but he has to be in your hand. So if you didn't draw him by turn 2, he's useless. Terrible. That he should have been like a 1/4. Then they changed him to, at the start of the game, no matter where he is, if he's in your deck, he shows you the right location. Not that great. It's like, okay, but why not just make it all locations? Like, is it really that powerful to get that information? Is it that overpowered? And now he's currently, at the start of the game, shows all unrevealed locations to you. That's great. That is amazing. Sorry, I had this tickle in the back of my throat. Now, when I say it's a great card, I mean, he's not terrible. He used to be really, really bad. Really, really terrible. But now he's good. For people with a lower collection level who don't have all the cards to make the perfect deck, he's not like a bad card to actually have to get that information, because you're going to know these things for the first half of the game. And locations are very important to what Marvel Snap is. They're really underrated a lot of the times, which is why Quake is so good. So this is just an example of a fantastic change that they made. A change where I don't think they really needed it like this specifically was they made Captain America like an ongoing card, meaning he's a card that goes in more like ongoing decks because he favors ongoing cards. It used to be your cards here get, your other cards here get +1 power. And now it's your other ongoing cards here get +2 power. So this, it used to be, he would be like a 3/6 essentially, and now he's eventually like a 3/9. But what if he was just like, you gave him a power boost, you made him like a 3/4, right? And all the cards here, including himself, would get +1 power. Then he would be like a 3/8, essentially, not as strong as he is now. But at the earlier collection levels, you're not filling up your locations with all these ongoing cards. You're just trying to fill up your locations to get more power at certain places. So I don't think they really needed to make that change. It's not bad, it's good, but I don't think it's was needed really for it. Like, am I making sense for it? Right? I think he just needed to be a little bit more powerful to boost all cards in his lane, not just ongoing cards. This is an example of a card that I don't know why it was changed to what it is. I understand why it was changed originally, because drawing a card from your opponent's deck is a big thing. Now, it is a gamble, because if you're playing her on turn 1, most likely your opponent is going to be playing at the same location, the revealed location. But that's not always guaranteed. They changed her to, if your opponent has played any cards here this turn, copy one of them into your hand. But you're not getting any bonuses for it. You're just getting another card in your hand, and it's random which one it's going to be if your opponent did play multiple cards there. So a change that I was thinking of was, for her, just copy one of the cards your opponent played this turn into your hand, right? Now, the problem with this is it goes against what the Guardians mechanic is, where you play a Guardians card at a location that your opponent also played a card, and then they get this big bonus. So since it's not distinct to a since it's not distinct to a certain location, then it kind of goes against what the Guardians are all about. So what if, like, you look at someone like Mirage, and she gets a card from your opponent's hand, the lowest cost card, and gets +2 power. So what if Mantis, when she gets a card, a copy of one of those cards, it gets -1 cost just for the rest of the game. Like, that's it. I mean, it makes sense with her character because she's good at, like, you know, like what, calming guys down and just playing with their emotions. So what if she's able to, like, play with the emotions to make them cost less energy to actually be used? Then I think that would make her a better card, because right now when it comes to 1-cost cards, she's really low. She's close to the bottom. I would rather have Uatu in my deck than Mantis any day of the week. And when you're talking about Guardians that are 1-cost cards, why would you ever choose Mantis over Rocket Raccoon? Like, it doesn't make much sense at all for that, you know? So she definitely needs a little bit of a buff. It doesn't make sense. There are cards that copy cards that are better than her, that are 1 cost more, and when it comes to a Guardian that's a 1-cost card, trash. Jessica Jones, she just needs +1 power. That's really it. She should be part of the 410 gang, right? You have all these 4-cost cards that are 10 power. She belongs in there, mostly because she's completely worthless if you play her at the last turn of the game. If it's TVA is out, she won't get that bonus. If Limbo's out, you play her on turn 7, won't get a bonus. So keep her. I like the way she is. Just make her +5 power. I was also thinking, what if she had an innate ability that at the start of the turn, if you don't play another card here, you would get +3 power. So you play her on turn 4, and then on turn 5, you would get +3 power. That would make her a 4/8. And then on turn 6, she'd become a 4/11, equal to Namor. But the sacrifice would be you wouldn't be able to play any other cards like at her location, and she has to grow to be what, like at that. Where Namor, you can play him at an empty location on turn 6 if you don't have Orca, and just get that big power boost. But I think that would be a nice little fun change for her. At the very least, she does need to be made 5 power. Rhino, he just needs to be brought down to 2 cost. When you're early in the game, having this is not that appealing for 3 cost, 3 power. You're going to look at other 3-cost cards you have, and they're going to be like, okay, well, I want more power out of this. This is early on in the game. And maybe this was more effective or made more sense and was more balanced at the beginning of Marvel Snap because there wasn't that many locations. Now it's just there's so many locations where who knows how impactful he's really going to be, considering how many like one and done locations there are, meaning a lot of them are like, hey, at the turn 4 do this, or turn 5 do this, or when location is revealed, do this, right? So you're making it just the ruins. You're taking away the complete ability. Magic, Storm, and Legion, they're all more than 2 cost because what their locations are doing are a huge change to the game. Legion is changing everything to one specific location, and that could be a massive, massive change. Where you have Scarlet Witch, Quake, and what I would like to see, Rhino, all are location affecting cards, but they just make more sense like a 2 cost than 3. No one is putting this in a Silver Surfer deck. It is silly. If you're going to be doing like a 3/3 card, you're going to put Juggernaut in way over Rhino any day of the week. Make him a 2 cost. Then he'll be better than low trash like what he is now. For Quicksilver, I think this is just like a perfect, just fine card. I probably should have talked about this in the beginning of the video, not where I am right now. But just think about how he is. Is he overpowered? No. Is he hurting you at all? No. You can do the math of how he prevents you from drawing cards, but in my opinion, Domino is way worse than what Quicksilver is. He starts in your opening hand at an early collection level. You just want to play cards. You're still learning how the game works, and having a 1-cost card just be played, that's what it is. That's fantastic. And he does have a huge use when it comes to Wiccan now for the later players. He doesn't need to be great in every deck, but he's fantastic for like Wiccan players. So he's just perfect. He doesn't need to be changed at all. I was thinking about him though, like what if there was a change to him? Now, I don't know if this should be done to him or even like a 1-cost card, but just the lack of activate cards we have in this game. What if there was a new card where the activate was your cards at this location reveal first next turn? I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe that's an ability that's more like a like an on reveal ability more than an activate ability. But that could be kind of interesting where no matter who has priority, you're guaranteeing that your cards at just that one location is revealing first. And the fact that it's a this location type of card, that's going to prevent Galactus most of the time, right? Something's happening. I think we're getting a package. It's okay. I have very good guard dogs. Alrighty, so that's him. Perfect card. Doesn't need a change. I like this. Definitely would need some testing, but I think that's cool. Nothing was there. The dog scared whatever was away. They are good babies. It is a fact that Professor X went from one of the best cards to one of the worst cards. It used to be that that location that he's at is locked down. Now, because of Cannonball, it's changed where only moving is the only way to add or remove a card from that location. The problem is that has gotten a lot worse with all the move cards that were recently added last season. And of course, this guy is just suffering because of Cannonball. Like, it was a Cannonball problem, not a Professor X problem, and he's the collateral damage. One of the biggest problems is, let's just say that I have Hood out at my location, and you play Professor X there. If I play Annihilus, my Hood is then going to cross over. So moving within that location is still a thing, and that doesn't make sense because you're not like adding or removing cards, you're just moving a card from one side to the other, but it's already there. If they're able to do something where you can only move cards into that location but not out of that location or within that location, I think that would make Professor X a good card, right? Card can go in there, that's fine. Can it get out? Sorry, dog. No. I actually am now thinking, what if I play Professor X and then my opponent plays Arrow? I'll try to test that out and post that later. Next, Domino, the worst card. Currently, you draw this on turn 2 and not before. It is a terrible card, even for early players, where it just hurts you. It's a dumb card. It's just dumb. It's one of the worst cards in the game. It prevents you from drawing things that you need, and by the time you draw her on turn 2, that's going to be the 5th card in your deck. So almost half of your deck is there. So unless you really desperately need a 2-cost card, then why is that even there? Now, you can argue that for like a Wiccan deck, it would be, you'd have that Quicksilver and her, so you don't need any other 2-cost cards. But there are so many good 2-cost cards out there. There's White Widow, there's Thena, even like Medusa is not that bad of a card. So if you just have like 3 2-cost cards in there, or even 2 2-cost cards in there, that might be enough where you don't actually need Domino anymore. One of my other big problems is that I like Domino as a character, and this doesn't really play into what she is. So what if in addition to her being drawn on turn 2, you just add the ability of you get priority when there is a tie? Because when there's a coin flip, and it's a 50-50 coin flip, Domino's going to be the one winning it. That's just what her ability is. So why not get that when there's a tie? Very much not overpowered. The ties don't happen too often in Marvel Snap when it comes to determining priority. Way less than you would think. Most of the time, it's going to be when you guys don't have anything to play on turn 1 or turn 2. Okay? And so when you're playing her, power's on the field, which immediately will bring it out of a tie. I don't think that's too much. Another change to the card, if you wanted to take away all that, she will not be the target of negative effects unless she is the only choice. So if there's any random negative effects that would be happening in the game, if there is another choice other than her, that will be the target, not her. Now, I'd imagine that Second Dinner would have to do some programming on be considered like what is a negative effect or not, but I think that would be a fun thing for her. However, just adding the you get priority when there is a tie, I think that would also be a fun little thing for newer players if they are able to get her out on the field. Personally, I think it's fun. Next, this is the best card. This is Jameson as Cosmo. She will be wearing this on Halloween. That's really it, guys. God, I hope this is it. I need to go and edit this video. It has been quite the day. I need to go get lunch. I kind of want McDonald's. I don't know, though. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and everything. Have a great week. Enjoy the new card today. Hopefully I can get this video out before the new card is out. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.